Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Ghosts, Myths and Legends. Are we sitting comfortably? Shall we begin? Today is April 29th, it is May Day Eve. Tomorrow and then the 1st of May will be Beltane or May Day celebration. Now when you think of May Day you think of the maypole and the king and the queen and flowers and children doing their school dances for May Day and all that shebang. But did you know that Beltane is one of the most favoured holidays of the She, the Fae, the fairy folk? Now tomorrow on May Eve, a bit like Halloween, is where the veil between worlds is finished. But it's not like a world in, it's not like an entry into the world of ghouls and ghosts and all Halloween things. On Beltane, the veil between the worlds is our world and the world of the Fae. Now, the Fae, they've been in the long winter slumber, hibernating away, and the warm late spring sun is waking them up. The smells and sounds of nature around them is like rebooting their system. And on tomorrow night, they like to come out and they meet in clearings and little corpses of wood and hilltops, and they hold meetings and they reconnect with each other and they chat and they eat and celebrate and they dance. Fairies love to dance and they like to have a good time. And Beltane is when they all get to come out after a long time, like us, when we've been locked in, like with lockdown. You come out when you can and you mingle and you have fun. Now, our fairies, they can be lovable, wonderful. They can bestow upon you brilliant gifts if you give them a small kindness. But they are also mischievous, tricksy, can turn on you like that. So, to keep the fairies happy, that's why on May Day in Beltane, houses and animals were decorated, and why we still have flowers around the maple and everything, with flowers and decorations, not just for the prettiness and because there's lots of flowers coming in May, but it is protection and appeasing the fairies. Fairies and the fae folk love flowers. They love them. And a few of the favourites, they like primroses, the elder, they love honeysuckle, foxgloves, typical kind of cottagey garden plants. And what people used to do is also make little posies and put them on doorknobs for the fairies to take as a little gift for them. Children as well, especially girls, like to leave them little cookies and little cakes and things so that the fairies can have their fairy picnics and fairy parties, and they've got food to nibble, and that's giving them a little treat so that, get on and leave you alone and don't do anything tricksy to you. In Wales, in the Brecon Beacons, there's a lake. I can't remember which one, I'll look it up, I'm sorry. But this lake was said to have had a secret door that led into a beautiful fairy kingdom. Now, every May 1st, the door would open, people would find it, it would open, and the fairies would welcome you into their kingdom with open arms to celebrate Beltane with them. You could eat and drink and be merry and dance and talk and be with the fairies. But they had one very simple rule: you must never take anything from our kingdom into yours. Now, this had worked for quite a while. People looked forward to this Beltane May Day celebration with the fairies. But one day, Mr. Jones was in the kingdom and he saw this beautiful, beautiful fairy flower and he picked it. And for some reason he put it in his jacket pocket. Now whether he did it absent-mindedly or on purpose, who knows? But anyway, they carried on dancing and celebrating until it was time for them to leave. Honestly, storytelling at its best. So, at the end of the evening, when the fairies are ushering out their human guests, and thank you for coming, we look forward to next year, and Jack Jones walks through the door. But the power of this rule and the fairy flower in his pocket meant that he was literally forced out of the door. It was like thrown out the door by the fairy power, and he lost all his senses in that very moment. He forgot his name, where he was, what he was doing. He didn't even know about the fairy kingdom anymore. Everything was gone. He was, I suppose, an idiot, a blithering little idiot. Everything gone. And after the last human had gone, that door slammed shut. Sorry, tail annoying. And was never found again. It never ever opened since that day. People looked for it, could never find it, and it has never reappeared or reopened because of, like I said, whether he stole it, whether he meant to, maybe he just picked it up because he thought it was beautiful and absent-mindedly put it in his pocket. Whatever that reason, that rule was broke, and boosh shakalaka, no more entry into the kingdom of fairies. Now, after these days, our fairy folk are doing their thing. They can go between worlds, as some people know. You can find little fairy circles, which I always tell my children, never ever step inside. Don't ever put your foot inside a fairy circle. No. And people think they've seen them and incorporate different sort of rituals with fairies. But after Beltane, the veil closes and it's harder for them to go between the two worlds. So they make the most of their Beltane celebrations, enjoying themselves to the full. And then they just go about their normal lives until the next little holiday they celebrate comes along, mirroring our own celebrations. Joint worlds, parallel, always running alongside each other. I don't know how you'll be celebrating Beltane May Day, if you will be. We used to do May dances at school. I think it was always around the 1st of May, but now they don't. It's later in the year and it's not even called May Day, celebration of dance, which I love, so I'm not knocking them, but it's just, yeah. I don't know why we don't. I mean, it's on a Sunday this year anyway, isn't it? So they're not going to be at school, but still you'd think there'd be some little thing. But around here we don't really celebrate that much, which is very sad. So, in my cottagey style garden, which I have out the front, which is a haven for wildlife and fairy folk, with its ash trees and its foxgloves and roses and primroses, I think I should make a little posy and put on my doorstep for the fairy folk when they come to celebrate, just to show them we care and to stay on their happy side. I hope you're well, you're looking after yourselves, you're happy, doing all the things you want to do, enjoying yourself, staying safe. Thank you for watching. As always, you are so appreciated. Thank you. If you want to know more about different things fairies do, different fairy legends, any of the faith folk, if you want to know more about normal sort of traditions and the background of May Day, let me know in the comments below. I will look into it. I could happily do episodes on fairies. I love all the faith folk. So you never know, it might come up anyway, whether you ask for it or not. And if you are more of the druidy, pagan side, more with your nature and your roots, and you are celebrating Beltane, I hope you have a bloody lovely one. You sing, you dance, you do all the things you want to do and have a wonderful time. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up, but only if she likes it, because there's no forcing here. If you want to see more like this, hit that little dingling bell, subscribes. Yeah, have fun, be safe.